Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxer, on the show tonight is my two big muckers, Southside and Stevie. How we doing, boys?
Aye, good Ox. Good to be on the Wednesday night with my big mucker, Big Stevie. It's good to be on and talk about all things Rangers. So just give a shout out to everybody listening in this evening. Give William, Stephen and Philip a shout out from the YouTube channel and everybody listening on Facebook.
Yeah, evening, Stevie.
All right, troops, how's things? Yes, indeed, it is Wednesday, and that can only mean one thing. Dream Team are back. Brilliant. How are you, boys?
Good, mate, good. I'm just laughing. We were going to get a big book out of it today. This is your life for Stevie, but we thought better of it, Southside.
I might need to sort of have a few beeps in there and that, no, or tell half truths, would you think?
Oh, well, maybe we'll do it as a Christmas special, Stevie. Yeah?
Aye, you'll need that. You'll need Mel in a couple of hours anyway, that's for sure.
How are you, Stevie?
Aye, brand new, mate. Brand new, plugging away. Just, I'm happy. The Rangers team, we're starting to get somewhere, aren't we? We're starting to see a wee bit of progress, aren't we? Putting teams to bed. No, the away form, Dundee right it. No, we done all right, you know, and then obviously the game there at the weekend, we're putting teams away, you know, so...
Scoring goals, Stevie. Scoring goals. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. I hear you had a bit of Mary Antoinette there today.
Oh,
Let them eat cake, yeah?
oh dear. Oh, I'm going to... Can I tell the story? I'm allowed?
I don't think you should, for your own good.
I would keep that one to myself.
I had a bit of running about today, that's all I'm saying, aye. And I must say, home economics was my strong part when it came to decorating the cake. That's all I'm going to say.
Aye. Memory is a terrible thing as it starts going Southside, isn't it?
Aye, it certainly is. Happens to us all, but that's the thing.
Yes, sooner or later. Stevie, what was your take? We've heard from you, we've heard from Southside. What was your take quickly on the game on Sunday?
My take was as plain and simple as that. I thought there were good numbers there crowd-wise. I thought we'd done a professional job. I thought we put the game to bed, and in just the second half, we just took the foot off the accelerator. You know, just a professional job done. That's all I can say. You know, we played some nice football in spells, and you know, yeah. I mean, I was just happy. We're scoring goals per game. I mean, we're putting teams to the sword. We're scoring 3 all the time now. We're scoring 3 or more. You know, so happy days. And I just thought it was a professional. After the game and the European game there on the Wednesday, it was professional, wasn't it? Just putting people to the sword, wasn't it? The two Dundee teams.
That's fair, Southside, isn't it?
Aye. So, know what you should do, Stevie? You and Bridger up there, you could maybe do the Copeland Nutter impression and get them to sing up there on that Copeland Stone Sunday, because it was only the UB, man. It wasn't very loud, was it? Maybe you should start getting them going up there in that tap section, mate. Help out the UB.
Well, I have been known to bring a wee bit of my flute with me and that, you know, I had a wee bit of zazz up there, but listen, mate, it's changed days, mate. I just thought the UB were better on the Brimland Road because the people on the Brimland Road joined in with them. I just think people on the Copeland Road at times can be a wee bit drab, and I don't mean that bad about them or anything like that, but there's not a lot of singing gets done. They're really not. And that's not just the Copeland Road. That's everywhere around the stadium, apart from the UB. So
I'll say it before, and I'll say it again, mate. I think it's a big downside of season tickets, mate.
You can't sitting with your family and friends and all.
Aye, I do. Like, when you think back traditionally, when everybody went to the game together, Southside.
Aye, I know, and you could stand next to your pals and whatnot. But listen, we know some games it's hard to get atmosphere going and that, but I do think when they were in the Broomloan, a lot of the Broomloan joined in, Weston Closer joined in, and bits of the main stand joined in with them when they were at that end. But since they went into the Copeland, they're not as loud at times, but they were singing away. But I know my mates in there, I know I was giving them pelters. I was like, you're just not joining in. I can see you from where I'm sitting. You're just sitting there. I mean, certain songs you should be able to join in. They were doing it in the Broomloan on Sunday. Certain songs you could hear them joining in. But it's quite quiet for the Copeland at times. When it's just the UB singing, there's a lot of them probably not joining in. But it is what it is, I suppose, isn't it?
Aye. I'm sure that if it was a big game, people would get involved. I get that people are a wee bit unenthused by the league, but listen, every game, see the Rangers as a bonus. You want us to keep winning, as every game's important, Steve, yeah.
Aye. Listen, see, before we get into it tonight, can I just give a big shout out to my lovely wife Joanne, who's 42 today, okay? Well, never let it be said that it was the done. Aye.
Yes, many happy returns to Joanne. I went off, and our partner, husband, is a unique character. Would that be fair?
Aye, very happy returns, Joanne. How you put up with him, we never know. But happy birthday anyway.
Here. Yes, here. 42, eh?
Aye.
Govan District.
By the way, just for the records, Stevie, every time I talk to a couple of people, they're always the north of the city. Watch yourself, mate.
Aye.
Yes. A certain south side and all, but they can't keep away.
I would have been out that side of the city quicker if he hadn't been driving.
For the record, he calls him driving Miss Daisy. Anyway, we digress. Transfer window shut. I know the boys touched on it last night. Southside, I'm not surprised. There wasn't a lot of movement anywhere, really, in football, really, in the whole scheme of things, yeah. We've signed a pre-contract, we brought the boy in, Fernandez. Maybe one short, potentially in midfield. Could have done with an arm body. But I'm not surprised what happened to you, unless people went out the door.
No, listen, we'd like to have seen a couple of extra bodies, if it was for the long term and the deal could have been done. But obviously no, and I think we tried to get a winger for PSV, which...
Close, I believe, pretty close.
It seemed like we were working on it for quite a while, but eventually it sort of fell through. So it was obviously an area where he's looking at. I don't know if he was a right winger or a left winger, but he was obviously a winger, as we were told. But it didn't work out. Well, Cameron will be for the future, isn't it? For the start of next season, and the boy Fernandez is in option to buy. So I dare say we'll have to have a look at him in time. You'd like to think he's going to get some amount of game time to have a look at him. So apart from that, probably a midfielder, but a midfielder that's coming in would probably have been coming in as backup. And listen, it's given us a chance to let Bailey Rice get a chance to go in. Should he be coming in for either Raskin or Diamante, then now be Connor Barron it, and we've got Finlay Curtis who could maybe get a bit of game time as well. So if we can integrate the two into the team going forward, that's the plan. I think if we brought in our midfielder in, it might have put him down the pecking order, Bailey Rice slightly. So maybe in the long run it'll benefit us and let the two boys in NCR get a bit more game time in the team.
Maybe what I like about Bailey Rice, I think I said it on Monday, Stevie, it wasn't a great game to judge anybody, but what I will say is you can still see the boys get technique. With two decent shots, and the way he pings the ball first time, challenges people's first touch, as you call it. He's always aware, he's always looking. Now, he could do maybe more off the ball, but you can't deny the boys got technique about him, eh?
No, you can't. What I like about him, he's always showing for the ball. He's always got his horn up, wanting the ball. He's no hiding, you know. Yeah, I noticed that about him, but no, he's got technical ability. I mean, see, just getting back to something Southside was saying there, see the likes of young boy Lyle we go up to Dundee for the start of next season. What does that say to Bailey Rice and the other young boy? If you're them, what does that say to them?
Rangers never stop, mate. You've got to take your opportunity. It's all about you.
Aye.
You know?
But do you know what I mean? I mean, beside the young boy, Bailey Rice, Finlay Curtis.
If they're playing different positions, maybe the boy Lyle maybe plays a wee bit more advanced. Yeah.
Aye.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You'll know when the league play a lot of games with just 11 players outside there. You need a squad, you need a first team, you need competition.
Aye, you made that all right. Bailey Rice will fight for his place. 2 different positions that they play. The same with Conor Barron. We'll need to try and fight for his place because at the moment Raskin and Diamondi's there, but should you want to rest one of them in that position, or you're maybe taking Hadji out and you're looking to add one of them in now. The fact that Finlay Curtis could probably go in there and play there, although he's a winger, he likes to come inside a lot, and when he played for the B team, he wasn't always getting to the byline and that. He creates, he can play through the middle. I'm trying to think, he's no out-and-out winger like Walters was, or like a Peter Hoostra, that he will come inside, maybe more like Livingston's idea. You know, he'll play in there, and if he can get game time, I think he'll be a goal threat. And it's about giving the boy confidence and giving him some game time. And the same with Bailey Rice, he's dead aware. He's always heads up. He knows where he's going to be playing the pass. He had that right through the B team, and it looks like he's still got it. You know, he's got it. And the only thing he get criticised for the manager was he didn't work off the ball, and he mentioned it, but as me and Albert pointed out to each other when we were watching him, we said it on the show. So now I think Bailey knows he'll need to work after the ball and stuff, but he's got all the quality and all the ability. He just needs to learn, and he's got to come into a team that needs to keep winning. And I think between now and the end of the season, it's perfect for Enciala, the boy Fernandez, also Curtis and Bailey to get chances in the team, and hopefully they'll grow and they'll feel part of it, and then they'll be ready to come in and fight for a place going forward. Or if one has to come out and you're resting him, you can say, well, he can come in and we know he can do a job. They're young, they've got to learn, but I'm looking forward to it. And it's 2 good players we've got here, and NCL's look good. So, there's a wee group of them there that we could certainly carry ways, and hopefully they'll go on and become good Rangers players.
When I look at NCL, Bailey Rice and Finlay Curtis, Stevie, they're raw, they've definitely got something about them. Now, I'm not saying they're going to, how good or how far they're going to go in the game. Only time will tell. But what I will say is, you can see the attributes they've all got, and they all look physically ready, which has pleased me because we've criticised some of the boys that have appeared in the past.
Aye. Well, Danciala, he was looking comfortable on the ball, and he looks, you know, he can pick a pass and that, you know, and he is a big frame of boy, as you're saying, talking about the build of him and stuff, you know. But look, as Southside said, if that wee group of boys can come with the senior players in the team and bring them on and just take their chance when they get it and just get right on about it, then it's that. I mean, they can run all day, the young team, you know. So it's not as if they're short of that, you know. So and it's a squad game now, isn't it? So they'll get their chance coming in and out of the team.
Aye. Right, I've got a wee bit of trivia for you two, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Just a wee bit.
Oh, come on.
Yeah? No, just a wee bit of fun, yeah? Okay, right? It's a wee who am I, yeah? All right?
Who am I? I can tell you who I am. Do you not know who you are?
Sometimes I don't know who I am. Saturday night, I didn't know who anybody was. Right, okay, where am I? Right, okay. Right, he's ready. Right? Who am I?
A Rangers player or something to do with it.
Yeah. Yes. who am I, right? I scored over 50 goals for Rangers. Over 50 goals for Rangers.
Okay.
Anybody? I know it's got to start.
50 goals for Rangers.
Over 50 goals. Right, you ready?
Right,
I made my debut as a 17-year-old.
17.
Over 50 goals. Now, that doesn't mean it's 51, 52. It could be a lot more than that, Southside. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
All right.
My mind's already switched off. It does this to me. That's my heating. Right, but go for it.
Yes.
Can I have a pop?
When you hear this one, this will be a good one.
Right.
My last game for Rangers was managed by Walter Smith.
Walter Smith.
Yes.
50 goals.
First time or the second time?
You need to wait for the clues, right? My last game for Rangers was managed by Walter Smith. All right?
Right.
I was sent off for Rangers as many times as I scored a penalty. Who am I?
As many times as I scored a penalty. Right, so his last game was Walter Smith, so you're talking Hearts at Parkhead.
No. His last game, he was managed by Walter Smith.
Right.
Okay, you with us?
Yeah.
He said debut at 17, it's doing me nothing.
Right, okay.
And he was sent off as many times as he scored penalties.
Yes. Okay.
So he never scored a penalty then?
No.
All right.
Just above nothing. Just above nothing.
What else you got for us? That's not enough.
Right, okay. Right. The guy I started most games with was Ali Dawson.
It was Sandy Clark, I don't know.
No, he didn't hang me. It wasn't him. Got him fairly.
Okay.
All
right,
Dawson.
ready? Yes. You need another clue?
It's no Bobby Williamson, is it? No, he wouldn't be. No.
So you start shouting at my answers, know what I mean?
Is that your final answer, Stevie?
My brain's done here, by the way.
Is that your final answer, Stevie?
No, because it's right.
Right, you need another clue?
Aye, use another clue.
Okay.
50 goals?
Okay. I played most of my games under the greatest ever Ranger as manager.
Right, so it's John Gregg, right? So he's played most of his games under John Gregg. His last game was with Walter. He scored 50 goals.
Over 50 goals.
Over 50 goals.
But he's a big clue. He scored 78 goals, including one penalty.
Right, who's the centre forwards, right? So you had McCoy, John Gregg, you had McCoy's, you had DJ, Derek Johnson, it would have been him, would it? So, who else did be him?
No, because as soon as flung him about and helped me go.
So, who's we talking here, Southside? Come on.
I do my head in with this. I can't remember, mate, honestly. He knows this. This is why he's doing it.
No, I'm usually good, but I'm hopeless tonight with this. So he played
it's a 17-year-old who's the one that flung me to start with. Because there's no many.
Okay, you ready? You ready?
Right.
It's no, because he was away before Walter. He never played under Walter.
Who?
No. I'm not even saying it.
All right, okay.
He never played
He
under.
never scored 50 goals for the Rangers or 51 goals or 78 goals. You said he certainly didn't score that. So
Who's
I was thinking of midfield. No, because he's never. I just know he never scored the amount of goals. There's no point.
Right, okay.
Nah.
Get me to look stupid.
I don't need to do that.
You don't, but
Cooper Cooper, is it?
No. Remember.
Huh?
No, but good effort, mate. Good effort.
Well, I'm thinking played under John Gregg. He scored a bundle of goals for us. He joined us as a young boy, didn't he, Cooper? 16, 17?
No. Cooper was a bit older than that, mate.
Was he?
Aye, right. But you mentioned Davy Cooper. This was a guy he played. Davy Cooper was a guy he played most games with.
Bobby Russell. Bobby Russell would have been in there.
Yes, he would have been, but
He never scored 78 goals, but
It wouldn't be Solo, would it?
what's that? What was the guess there?
It wouldn't be wee Solo, would it?
For the listeners, what was his yes?
John McDonald.
Correct. John McDonald.
Boy.
Well done, big man.
Yes, made his debut 17 years, 315 days in the Scottish League.
17,
His last game, I wouldn't have known that till I looked under it outside, was Walter when he came in just before Souness took over, yeah?
I would have even thought he was still there at that time.
Aye, there you go, man.
17, I didn't think he was 17 when he first came in. Was he? Wow.
There you go.
That's a bit that flung me the Walter.
Aye. I knew Derek Ferguson was younger, I knew Barry
He won that
was
last
older.
game, mate, Walter. We get beat with St Mirren away from home, yeah? The 19th of April 1986. And the team was McCloy, Burns, Dawson McPherson, Johnson Durant, Bell McKinnon, McCoyce, McDonald and Cooper. Monroe and Williamson for the subs. So there you go. Huh? It was a Walter one through me, Stevie. I didn't know that to the day, mate, yeah?
Aye, there you go. It took me a wee while. He's a boy for the drum tee. I should have got it, no problem. But the Walter bit for me. And 78 goals. I never thought we Solo got 78 goals. There you go.
78 goals, one penalty, mate, yeah?
One penalty kick, eh?
He was no bad in the box, John McDonald, no. I just didn't think he was 17 when he first started.
17 years to show you. Huh?
Aye, wee bit of fun there. Wasn't it too hard, was it?
It wasn't too bad, no. But my mate does.
Just hopeless at him.
Aye, I was going to say that. I mean, you talking about Rangers, I mean, you could tell teams and everything else, we can discuss everything. But when you do these quizzes, your mind goes blank. You know? But I was up myself there, I really was. I was thinking, man, Walter, 17, 78 goals. It's quite hard. That was quite hard.
Aye, and you can't really Google it, can you? Yeah?
No, I can't.
You know, but aye.
That'd be cheating, wouldn't it?
No, used to would never do that.
If I could have worked out how to Google it, I would have.
Right, we better get these phone lines open. Hi, John McDonald. Unlucky, mate. He scored a fair amount of goals and no more very successful spell, you know?
Yeah.
So, aye. Good player.
Yep.
Right.
Scored the goal in the 4-1, didn't he, in the replay. Edge of the box.
Aye.
Stuck it through Hamish's legs, didn't he?
Ran away, didn't he? And scored.
See, I remember that. He stuck it through Hamish's legs, didn't he?
Well, two that did, you know?
Aye. Bobby Russell scored.
Yep.
I know.
Aye. We get the phone lines open, chaps. People can come in. Yeah?
Yeah. Get the phone lines. That's a shout. Get the bells in.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aye. Just to give you a wee update, the SFA are winning 1-0 against Dundee at Parkhead. They got a penalty kick. They always got a wee penalty to help
Well,
them
that's it even this week then, eh?
That's they couldn't wait.
We get one on Sunday. Talking about SFA, and did you? I know you two on the great particular follows other teams on social media, but the D United come out with a whopper of the day. Absolutely can't have any confidence in the whole setup. They don't want nothing to do with the sort of would have wanted a better word, the appeals process Southside. Yeah, so you get the D United coming out, someone coming out. Well, Collins doing a marvellous job, isn't he?
See, the thing is, it's affecting all teams in it, apart from one usually, so it only benefit. So, I've not seen what they've said. I'm not really getting any love for them,
Basically
Dundee
saying
United,
they don't
but
think the panel works Southside, and they don't think the people on it have enough knowledge of the game, and they need proper people.
is this KPI thing panel or?
Aye, that's exactly what it is, mate.
Is that what he's talking about? Aye. Well, they're only there to give a verdict, you know. They're there to give the verdict, but I heard Colm explaining that sometimes they've gave decisions that are wrong in his eyes. So, listen, it all needs reviewed, and you need to get the referees out the VAR room. It's as simple as that. I said ages ago in here, maybe how do you not get independent people and understand? You can easily understand the rules of the game, and it's just about interpreting VAR properly. And if it's done that way, then it's done. Independent bodies are how no just go at, well, if we get VAR officials, how do you not just go at? No, but we'll take VAR officials for Germany, bring them out here, let them do a game. We'll send your Scottish twats across there and let them do VAR in Germany, and we'll maybe.
How do you need them to send them across there, mate? They're watching it on the telly.
Well, whatever, you can sort it out anyway. You could have other officials for other countries coming in and doing VAR if you want, and just send your ones that are doing VAR here, send them across to their countries and let them do it over there, and we'll see how that goes as an experiment. It's the only thing I could think of, because the way it is, you've seen the state of them on the park and in the VAR room, so no wonder clubs are starting to complain. At the end of the day, it costs the clubs the money. It's Rangers and every other club that's paying the money for the VAR, and then we're getting them on the other end to make a pig's ear. So, nah. Good. There's more people complaining.
Maybe they wake up and smell the coffee, Stevie, instead of shaking the beans,
That's it, mate. I'm just had a wee chuckle there when my wingman says there, maybe we should go to other countries and bring other officials into other countries. They'll go to Italy and they'll probably go to the Vatican to bring them in. Aye, mark their own homework once again.
I think the whole thing's broke, mate, and they don't admit it. They've got themselves in such a pickle, and they've had so many placement people, and the guy they've gave the job to, wow, just wow.
Listen, I don't want to sound like Albert, but I'm 100% with him, and I actually said it on the shows before Albert even came on. We're just refereed at a different level. When it comes to VAR, they'll get back 5 minutes to make sure we've done nothing wrong before they give the goal. And when it goes to the other mob, everything's done quick for the other mob. It takes us 5 minutes to get something done, but when it's them, it's just a goal and that's it. And then they don't look at nothing else. We're getting refereed at a different level. It's just blatant cheating. And everybody, any simple-minded guy knows that there's a rat there somewhere, there's something not right. The way one team's had, how did we go for getting penalty kicks all last season? Now we've had one this season. What's dramatically happened there?
We weren't awarded a lot of penalty kicks last season, bizarrely. Most of them were done by VAR. So the referees were missing them, Stevie.
The referees were missing them, exactly. That's it. But at the end of the day, you go for that to one extreme to the other. Why is that? Because a certain team were moaning about us getting penalty kicks at their AGM, and all of a sudden it just goes 360. Listen, it's just teams, the wait till it happens to them when Celtic play them and it costs them and somebody gets relegated or somebody gets put out a cup or something like that, then they'll start all talking up. But they should be doing it now, and the best time to do it is when you win a game, so it doesn't look like sour grapes. It's just blatant cheating by all that mob. All the SFAs marking their own homework. I'd love to be a fly in the wall in some of the VAR rooms. It's a joke, an absolute joke. And you can go into all the different decisions, but they need to rip it up and start again. See a 40, you heard Del Boy, what can't speak can't lie. And it doesn't lie. It's the people that's passing judgment on it. And that's the bottom line. And they're just Tims with Celtic scarves on. I mean, that cup final, that was ridiculous.
The audio.
Yeah.
But he also said this time next year we'll be millionaires.
Hopefully, so we can stick a few bob into the Rangers.
But listen, look, I don't know about you, Southside. I thought when VAR came in, I thought it could kill a lot of controversy if anything's made it worse, isn't it?
Well, the one thing it did was in Europe for many a year we used to have some shocking goals gave against us and stuff, and it's actually, when you look at the VAR decisions, when we scored against Dortmund, Alfie, and the linesman flagged them offside and it went to VAR and we get the goal and things like that. So I think in Europe it helped us, especially a couple of times at Ibrox, with them, our team being offside. I think it was Red Star Belgrade, that game. They scored twice, I think, didn't they? And get disallowed for offside correctly. So in England it seemed to, in Europe it seems to have worked for us all right. And sometimes we've had the odd one go against us, which is fair enough. But in Scotland, I've seen this subjective thing. It was subjective. I mean, we've been on the end of some howlers, right, as we've seen and spoke about. But even look at the one Kilmarnock had the other day with Dundee United and how he got the goal. He failed the goalkeeper. He clearly seen him barge the goalkeeper, then he does a ball and the referee's a goal. And they'll, no doubt, Dundee United will be upset about that one. And you've heard McInnes come out and all that. The fact is, our referees are poor. That's just a fact. They're poor. They're just poor. They don't get invited to any European, World Cups or Championships because they're not good enough. And you can clearly see that on a weekly basis. You can clearly see the amount of times that Billy Collins was at least coming out and trying to explain it, but he's explaining that the referees have made an absolute howler. And then he's explaining they never took time to check this, they never took time to check that, but we'll learn for it. Well, they're still making mistakes, they're still making the same decisions. And it's just the fact that they're bad. That's just it. And some of them are probably borderline when you think they were close to cheating, because you can't be that incompetent, you would think. So you'd think if you're really competent at your job, you'd be doing it right. So if you're no, then what is it? So that's how bad it's got.
I get it. Aye, I don't think it's improved again. And just for the record, Stevie, what we're talking about improving the game, a great message for a good friend of yours and a good friend of the show for Western Australia, Gary Brownlee, who messaged and said he's been crying out for a bigger league in Scottish football for 40 years, mate. And obviously he's a Partick Thistle man, yeah?
Yep, aye, Gary's quite fair, and you've got to say he's a Partick Thistle man. He's got a very good background, Gary, and he's fair enough when it comes down to talking about the game and in Scotland and the officials and everything else, and the state of the situation with tickets and gruns being empty and people standing out the other end, locked out and stuff like that. Gary's quite good with it all, aye. But Ox, I've said it once, I'll say it again. The wrong people are running Scottish football. We need to get it right, but we're just turning into a laughing stock in every department. See, if you're an English boy watching for London and you watch the football on Sky and you look at our game, you would think we were honestly junior. The stadiums are empty. One end's full at the brim, and there are seats everywhere else in the stadium. They sell it too cheap. They don't talk it up enough. They've just, honestly, they've not got a clue. the hate spewing at them for one particular team in the league, and that goes for a lot of teams as well. They up their game for one team. They cheat their fans every week. If they played the way they played against the Rangers, they would be doing all right. They'd be up there fighting for the championship. And they just cheat their fans, and the whole ticket scenario is just a whole show in itself. Because they're a guy who's sitting next to us here now, Southside will tell you the stuff that we've got to go through to try and get tickets to see our team. Sometimes because of the setup with my chairs, there's just not enough tickets to get in. It is absolutely mental what we go through. Mental, the Rangers fans.
The galling thing is, apart from a few stadiums, mate, and I was going to say hundreds, but I'm right, it's thousands of empty seats. You know, it makes grunts, and I get it, it doesn't add up, it doesn't look good for the game, it's no marketing. If you do it right, there's no problem with segregation Southside. It's just crazy, isn't it?
Well, they keep saying it's a business and they want to make money, and why would you stop customers coming through your doors when there's seats there to be sat on? And if you do it right before you sell your tickets, then you can easily make extra money. And the only chairman so far, our owner, has actually said he's going to give more tickets away at St Johnstone. But the fact is, as much as you want a bigger league, Sky will never go for it. They would never pay the money for a 20-team league, and if they did, it would be a lot less money. The other clubs,
what are you basing that on?
Because they want Rangers and Celtic on their channel, possibly as 6 times. Well, we're on 6 times. If we draw each other before a cup final, we're on. And we'll play the 4 league games in the hope that we're in another cup final, or we draw together in a semi-final. So Sky's main selling point for Sky is that's the games that matter to Sky. They probably don't care whether we play Aberdeen at home, they play Aberdeen at home, and Dundee United play. I mean, they're talking up, we've got a Dundee derby and all that. Aye, well, they never had one for a while. Now we've got Hibs and Hearts back, so we've got that derby. I mean, you watched the game the other night, Dundee United Kilmarnock, they kicked the ball up to the sky the whole game. And on a plastic pitch, but they kicked the ball up to the sky. I watched most of it. I mean, that's what I watched. It was shocking. And it's long throw-in set pieces. And it was nonsense.
I've got a counter-argument to you against I get what you're saying about the Old Firm game. But I think if they only played twice a season, the games would become even bigger and become more event, and arguably more people might watch them.
Maybe, but Sky see it now as it's potentially 4 games, and they hope that they get to screen another 2.
You could still have 4 because you could still have the other 2. So partly you only talk about the 2 league games, but my counter argument to you, sir, I'm arguing for the defence here, Stevie, is that there'll be bigger events and there'll be more people watching because they don't happen as regular if you market it properly.
Aye, I get that. I know. Treat them mean, treat them keen. The bottom line here is, for me, you can change it up and change it down, but see if you've not got the right people at the top of your game selling the product right, sitting down at the start of the season and saying, I mean, let's be honest, Livingston had it perfect. Livingston gave us 3 sides of their stadium, Rangers and Celtic. They probably got 2 decent players bought because of the money that they say, the extra money we can Rangers sell like that all year round. They probably bought them 2 players at the end for the start of next season, rather than the place being empty. I just the all needs ripped up and started again. But you're possibly right, Ox. The less you play somebody, the more interest it becomes when they play each other. We get that. But Southside's right. You've still got 50,000 and 60,000 every time we play. It wouldn't matter if we played them 10 times a year. The stadium would still be full.
I get that, mate. That's a different thing. But if you're talking about a TV audience, a worldwide TV audience, yeah, if that's your thing, yeah.
Aye.
Interesting. And there's another thing you could do with it. I don't know any supporter who likes a split. I don't think it's brought any interest more to the game. You could also Southside deal with the random supercomputer, because the fixtures could be worked out for the previous, constantly for your previous position of finishing, and then the teams get brought in, take their lower numbers, and they have the fixtures to go with it. There you go. They took all that out of it. That's common sense, Southside.
Aye, it would make a lot of sense. But as much as, even if somebody comes in and tries to drive it, and it'll need to go to a vote of the clubs, and they'll just no vote for it. And I don't think Sky, want that Premier game all the time. I knew they'd probably go at Hibs and Hearts and Dundee and Dundee United, or Dundee United's come back up, or Dundee come up. It'll help that, and they can maybe sell that. But I just think it'll stay the same. There'll not be an appetite for it, because the other clubs want us going there twice and them going there twice, paying your £35 a ticket, and hoping that you'll spend some shrekels at their pie stalls. Sometimes the big one does, obviously, but it's all money to them, and plus they'll get the live TV sometimes when Rangers are in town. So no change, but it just gets a bit. You get fed up with it, and I'm starting to get fed up with it. It didn't matter even if we were winning league after league, still get fed up with it. It just needs changed and ripped up a bit, and maybe some of the other clubs, if they're getting some chances of the TV money and that when they're playing us, then it helps them get some money, and they maybe try and improve their players. And it's probably getting a chance to get a rip the leagues up further down, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, to be honest. And
I don't see it happening, Southside. I don't disagree with that statement. I just think that playing the same teams, and depending how the fixtures fall, and if you play somebody at the split, you play them at the back end of the fixtures in the split, and the start of the new season, you could arguably play a team 3 times in 7 league games. What kind of situation is that?
Well,
I've been up to Aberdeen a few times, like the white wetsuit. Sometimes you get them at home if they're in the top 6, but it's like when that team drops out, they try and fill the other team's fixture in, who might have not been in even in the top 6 in the last 2 seasons, but they become that team, and then they decide if you're going to their ground or you're going to theirs, because it's meant to even itself out, but that didn't happen when teams got relegated.
Aye.
You know,
so then if you're playing somebody in the last bit of the fixtures. Yeah, the last set of the fixtures before you go to the split, then you play them in the split, and then you play them open game of the season. You played them 3 times in 7 league games. Where's the sense in it? Stevie, help me out.
No, I can't help you. And I'll tell you another thing I can't. The times are getting worse in the kick-offs too. Right. 8 o'clock on a Sunday night.
3 on a Sunday afternoon, mate.
I know. Dingwall, I know. You're going to be up there at daft doors and daft days as well. What was I going to say? The ticket, I mean, Southside, I don't know what your opinion is on the ticket site, but the average away ticket, me and you know, is roughly around about between 30 and 35 quid, right? Say 33 quid. That's the average price of an away ticket. What for? The stones begin to erupt. So how do you even get past with a fire warden? Is beyond me. Some of them, the whole thing is just, it's no priced right. The times for supporters for work, travelling up for Belfast and places like that. How do they think guys do it? They just don't think of the fans at all. They absolutely, we're last in line. It's keys your money, your last thought about. That's it. It's just not right. I mean, some of these stones, let's be honest, Johnson, Kilmarnock, even Paisley and places like that, the Dundee United, it's an absolute dump. Tannadice is a dump, a grade dump.
No change, does it? No change.
Oh, just another thing I seen. Did you notice it on Sunday, Ox? See when we scored on Sunday, the Broomlin in that corner section, where the UB used to be. Where the UB were used to be in the Broomlin at the side of the wall there. Did you see all the Polish come out when we score and come onto the track and stand about 8 or 9 handed?
Aye.
And you're like, what's that about?
When I seen
Right.
that, I thought that's because me, you, and Stevie were in the grunt at the same time. To be honest,
I didn't want to say that, but but they all come tripping out for the side, and I'm thinking, are we paying them to come out and stand there when we score a goal? Are they think somebody's going to run out the Brimley Road or something against Ross County? Have we no? I mean, one, it looked stupid for a start, but surely we could have had stewards. We've got enough of them, haven't we? They could have out and done that. Police doing it. Police.
talking about that,
no danger.
What I did notice, and no offence to them, we've got to admire the ones that done it, mate, who made the journey down for Ross County. But also, if they're serious about the game, they've got to look at away support. And if you accept that's a part of bringing atmosphere to football, and it's part of the market, away teams should have to take X amount of tickets, in my opinion, Stevie.
Aye, I mean, what I mean, they'd had their supporters associations in a phone box, hadn't they? I mean, let's be honest, you could actually sit and count them. You could actually sit in the stadium and go,
I don't think it was 20 there, was there?
Listen, there was more stewards than there was in them.
You know,
It's
and by the way, fair play to them that done it, you know.
Aye, fair play to the boys that came down, the boys and lassies that came down to support their team. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, there we played, who was it we played that Ibrox the Cup? And they brought some support with them. Fraserburgh. Absolutely, the whole town was out. And look at Ross County, a Premier team, they brought down 20 bodies. It's just lack of effort, mate. It's just they don't support their team. It's just how they feel on the day. I'll go shopping with a wife, never mind the game of the day. Well, they're really opposite. We just don't care what's going on in my life. We've got to see the race.
Go shopping with the wife or for the wife. I never caught you there.
But you know what I mean, man. We do it to see our team and we can't get it. I mean, they're Tynecastle. Let's be honest. 620 tickets. 620 tickets. And so say, we talked to a boy the day about this. Am I not right in saying the players get a chunk of that 620?
Well, they've all day, mate. Corporate, the one, you'll be lucky if there's. What was you reckon we go to my jersey out of that? 400, maybe less, Southside, if you're honest. Oh. You've upset him. You've upset him.
That's all right. Aye. No, it's a joke. We used to get the full end at Tynecastle. Then if they're doing all right, they give you half it. And now they're giving you. They've actually went for a quarter down to a couple of sections now. It's a joke, an absolute joke. How can they do that halfway through a season? Surely that's knocked in the head at the start of the season. Rangers Celtic are getting the full end, or Rangers Celtic are getting the two sections. It's got to be done and dusted before a ball's kicked at the start of the season, surely.
Do you know what I would accept? I would accept if the whole ground was full when you go there and they had their opportunity and every game they had was full so that the demand's there for the Range fans. But you'll go there on Sunday and there'll be seats empty. A week Sunday, there'll be seats empty all over the stadium, mate. Yeah.
Well, you only need to look at the Hibs and Hearts at the Edinburgh Derby. There's seats all over the place. Can't even fill their derby. They're just there. I just don't get it. They're flinging money down the drain first and foremost for their club. But it's the bigger picture. It's what they're doing to the product, what they're doing to the away support that want to go and fill their stadium and give them the money. Surely there's got to be a bit of common sense somewhere. 620 tickets for a club like Rangers? The kidding us on? Don't get me wrong, we're quite lucky. Southside's got a ticket, I would say, and I think I've got one. So we're doing all right. So, but it's terrible, the loyal guys that go and can't get tickets.
I get it. Listen, Hugh Duff saying on Facebook, give them nothing, starve them. We've tried that, Hugh, I get it. I don't disagree with the principle, but it's hard if you want to go and watch the team away from home and want to go to all the games, We tried one boycott and it was an absolute flop, wasn't it?
Aye.
Absolute flop, But I get the sentiment, understand fully what you're saying, mate. But, and especially, I know you're a certain vintage, but when you're younger, imagine telling us when we're young you can't go to a game. Not going to happen, is it?
Southside, I was at the first game night at Tynecastle and see the amount of the young boys, AUB boys, say what you want about them.
Outside, they're all outside, weren't they, a lot of them?
Outside. They're basically tossing coins in there, right? You get the ticket, you get in. I'll wait out here with all the drums and whatever else, and you go in and you see them, and you feel heart sorry for the young boys travelling away through to Edinburgh and having to stand outside a grun. It's a disgrace. There need to be a bit of common sense. There needs to be something. There need to be, even the police in the old days, sometimes if the police had tickets, they would give them to people standing outside the grun and say, "Are we into the game, son?" Even if the police said to Hearts, "Right, look, your stadium's empty, but we've got 200 boys standing outside. We'll put 10 bodies right up there, right up that section to make sure nobody moves and bring them into the game and we'll get you." Hearts are going to get a few bob, aren't they? There's got to be a bit of surely something. I can't just keep hating myself to death or hating one club to death. It's a disgrace.
The whole thing needs ripped up, remarketed, So see in a purely football point of view, forgetting about all the other stuff, do you think a bigger league would work?
You would probably get, it's twofold. You'd get probably some meaningless games at some point in the season, right? I would expect that because some of the teams in the league wouldn't be strong. But if they're getting more money put into them, you'd like to think that they would add it. If they've got any young talent that they're trying to bring through, they could maybe play it because you'll have, say, 20 teams. So relegation, you'd make it one team or something like that down, maybe a playoff. And that would give some teams a chance to breathe, and they might play some of their youngsters, which we might look at if he's playing well, and we might want to take him, or other clubs might want to take him, gives them money in the door, and it helps them move on. And it's just a freshness to the league. It's just still boring. That's all it is. It's been still boring for a long, long time. Even when we were doing 9 in a row and all that, even going to a lot of the games, you knew before you were gone there that they're going to come, sit, pack defences, you go to break them down. And some days we struggled and we got the win, other days we blew them out of the park. It just depended, but it's just still boring. That's all it is. Just needs a revamp of some kind, something different. That's just the way we feel,
The thing is, they'll not even see the way Ox asked you. It's plain and simple as that. Talk to the fan bases. Sit down with the fans. Each club sit down with their fans. Take back a bit of info and then take it all up to the SFA and the Scottish Football Federation and say, this is our section of the fans would like some of this to happen. Can it be done? And try and find some middle ground with it all. And then other clubs can get their say as well. But let's be honest. I would rather have Falkirk, Dunfermline, Braith Rovers. If you were making it bigger, they're all bigger supported than likes of Ross County. They would bring a good support to Ibrox. They would take a good away support, and it'd be better for the product. If you were making that a bigger lead. But look, as Ox probably rightly says, it needs ripped up, started again from top to bottom. The pricing's rang, the kick-offs are rang, the ticketing issues, how many away fans are getting, all rang. We don't charge enough financial money for our sponsors. We just don't talk the game up enough. And let's be honest, the stadia, come on. I don't even know we're subbing them get a pass for the fire department or health and safety. I mean, at some of these stadiums, I mean, Dundee United, wow.
The Jerry Kerr stone in it.
Oh,
Still got the old wooden staircase down.
I don't think that's changed since
no,
the
still
70s,
one way
is it?
in and out. No, it's shocking. One way in, one way out in it.
do you say the Jerry Kerr or the scary Jerry Kerr? It's an absolute fire hazard waiting to happen, that, by the way. I'm
And
telling you, right.
You're an expert in safe working loads. You should know that stone doesn't hold a lot.
Oh.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about...
Aye, right. That was a subtle, a bit subtle with it, Stevie.
What's the hat? I know
he's cheap shot, Southside.
He was talking about Big Stevie with 3 pies in each pocket, the old flare boards creaking away. I know what he was talking about.
I was talking to you in a professional capacity. Somebody else came out with a cheap shot.
Well, we'll discuss it after the show. But listen, the whole thing needs wrapped up. Honestly, guys, I'm not just talking about my own team. I'm talking about just as a football fan. Wow, I'm thinking, what's the people in England? I mean, look at the stadiums down in England. Look, forget the Premiership. Go down a league. Look at their stadiums compared to ours. Look at their product compared to ours. Look at the money that's in their game compared to ours. Look at the kick-offs and the live telly. It's all brilliant. It's all a brilliant package. The pricing.
I don't know if you want to look at the Championship teams, mate, the way they get messed about for the TV and their kick-off times. If you had a look at, say, Leeds United's kick-off times, their games for the telly, I know they're playing the night, and they play 44 league games. They get messed about, mate. Aye.
Well, look, but the fans are happy. The fans are happy.
I don't know if they all are, Steve. If you talk to some of them, they'll have the same gripes that we've got kick-off times. Yeah, they're fillers. When you're in that Championship, you see them. They feel they're fillers for the spaces where the Premier League isn't involved. And they get frustrated.
Take the kick-off times out of the equation. Their fans are still standing in decent stadia.
Yes.
For a decent, probably price.
Yes.
Right? We're standing in. And we're Premiership, and they're only English First Division. So that's what I'm comparing. No, never mind the Premiership. I'm comparing our top game with their second tier, if you want to put it.
Aye.
It's a disgrace. We should be up there or run about. No, we've got the biggest game in the world and we don't even advertise it right. We play it all down. We had Gerrard and Brenda, 2 managers for the Premiership. One's a world icon, and we don't talk it up. All we do is bring the guy down, look for his faults, try and trip him up in interviews constantly. It's just a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. And see, when you're doing a hole, sometimes you've got to stop digging.
Yes. Maybe they've just got a different agenda for us 3. Anyway, gentlemen, it's time for a tune. Have you put in any requests tonight? What would you put in as a request, Stevie?
Probably Stevie Wonder. Happy birthday for my lovely wife. Yes.
You should have said. Well, maybe see if you get that dug out, mate, if it helps you at all.
Talking about that, I got a text. Billy sent a text to say happy birthday to Joanne, Stevie, and he sent her a VC, he says, in the post.
Okay. Well done, Billy boy. Stevie, get the house off my neck.
Target off your back. What about your selection tonight for the tune, Southside?
I'll go with Stevie.
Happy birthday.
Aye. No, well, a tune, we'll get happy birthday on, surely. But Fox knows the score on a Wednesday night. I've got
for Southside.
Not a problem. I'm sure Fox will have it sorted.
I've no use to could do happy birthday live after the tune, right?
I don't think so, no.
Get yourself a mute because I love that tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard. We've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, that one, boys, you happy with that?
Yes, good version, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely fantastic. A wee toe tapper, yes.
Plus, we even made a guest appearance in the video. What could we say?
Yes.
Yep. Be my boy.
Remember the first time I seen that, I nearly choked. Says a lot, but says a lot, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'll say it again. What can't speak can't lie. Mm-hmm.
That's true, mate. That's true. Well, we digressed. I don't know how we were doing that rabbit hole with Scottish football, but a lot of salient points there, boys. But back to your team, you know, we know we're maybe a bit light, and we have to might have to be some movement for us to move on. But slowly but surely, how good this squad's going to be, Southside. There's values all where we put it in the squad. The boys came from maybe in the last few weeks, I would think would be fair to say, in Salah, isn't it?
Aye, it's because you're flung in when you've got nothing else. That's what sometimes happens to the young boys in our team. They get flung in when we're struggling. And when Salah's come in and listen, there's the amount of times I've watched him, he didn't look and feel ready, but he's shown he showed up pretty well. He obviously getting guided with proper in most of the games there, and then he also started again with John Suter. But listen, he's got the physique and he looks like he could handle himself. It's just about gaining the experience. Probably needs to be a bit more dominant in the air. But apart from that, he's looked comfortable in most of the games, Ox, and it's good to see him. And hopefully he takes confidence for it. And when he gets called upon, he'll get his chance again. But I think once we've got Suter and proper fit, I think he'll probably play more than he will. But he might surprise you. You never know. He might reclaim his place when we go to Tynecastle. But I think Suter and proper, I think it'll be at Tynecastle, and he'll just have to come out the team maybe.
Aye. Stevie, he had an excellent game at the weekend. Wasn't he overly pressed, but he showed he's got a bit of ability, didn't he?
110%. No, I liked about the boy, there was a bit in the game, he went on a good wee run, he played a brilliant ball. Or he done he defended something well, and he passed the ball, a good pass, and everybody was clapping him. And then he made one wee mistake, and you could see the boy was angry with himself. So you can see how angry he is. He's wanting to do well for the troops, you know what I mean? And that's what you want out of a young boy. But he looks comfortable. He's got that wee lazy leg, and he can ping a ball. He's absolutely... The quality's oozing out the boy. He just needs to stay in the team as long as he can, and while he's there, give his all. That's all the boy can do, because I agree with Southside. I think at Tynecastle it's going to be certain proper at Tynecastle, which is a shame if the boy's doing all right. Now, if the boy's playing good, why should they give the jersey up? I mean, Clement says if you're playing well in this team and you're doing all right, you'll not get the jersey. But I totally agree with Southside. I think it'll be proper and Suter at Tynecastle. I really do.
Listen, 2 years admire your long-range weather forecast. Us to predict a team 10 days away with injury record we've got, he's done well.
Aye, but I think if you look at that, listen, he'll probably play on Sunday against Queen's Park, but you've got to Tynecastle. It's a game that we need to make sure we win. Now, the boys played well, and there's a good chance that Clement might show faith in him and play him, but I think the fact that Suter's back now fit, I think he comes straight back in, and I think Proper has sort of held the sort of team together over the last few weeks, playing beside him and helped him, and played just about every game, apart from resting him there on Sunday. So I think if you look at it that way, I think Proper will probably go in beside John Suter against Hearts, and it's no slight on him. But then again, the manager's decision, he might think differently. But if you look at the logic here, I think Proper and Suter would start. I think most people would think that would be the case. But the manager's call.
Anyway, we've been joined by Tommy from Bognor. Evening, Tommy.
Good evening, Ox. Evening, Southside, Ox. How are you doing?
How are you doing, bud?
How are we doing?
We're doing good. I was just listening to what you were saying there about the revamp of the league there, Ox, and I always remember it was never broken in the first place, and they shouldn't have tampered with it. They did. It was for me. It was boring. This 4 games a year is boring. My mate's official supporter, Ox, and he goes to, and they get bored on the air twice. They get bored on the Inverness twice. And it's boring, Ox. If you listen to the teams that are in the even in the second division, they're bored with this 4 games a year. They're bored with Ox. I mean, last night, Bognor played last night, Ox. We get 600 at our game. Now, teams in the Scottish second division would love 600. Love to have 600 at their game, Ox.
Aye. I get it, mate.
I mean, I think Southside said the product down here is way better because the teams down here can aspire to play at the highest level. Now, you look at Wrexham. 2 years ago, they were in the Conference South. They're now in the First Division. Mm-hmm. It's because somebody's put some money into them. They've done well. They're now in League One. There's nothing to stop them going into the Championship next year, Ox. If you remember 3 years, but I think it was about 3 years ago, they were in the Conference.
I tried to get the league, Aye.
And so I mean, I think sometimes Scotland's a way behind with the pyramid system. I mean, I think our pyramid system's poor. I mean, look at teams like Bonnyrigg Rose now that came up, Spartans, Celtic Hearts. I mean, if you spoke to the chairman of Annan Athletic Ox when we played them, right, 2 games we played them down there, 2 of the biggest crowds they ever had, and the guy get checked that kept them going for 10 years.
Aye.
10 years it kept them going, Ox.
Aye, I know.
So I think the product. I think the product has to be redeveloped or revamped.
So I don't think we disagree. Southside were an athletic expert.
Aye, a wee club and that would have generated a lot of money, and the same as when we went down the divisions. We visited them. I think we were down there twice. I think in the time we were down the leagues.
Twice we played them.
Aye, so aye, and it generates a lot of money for them, but it's just the 4 times a season, and it's been like that for a long time, mate. To be honest, I've always thought that even when we were winning the leagues 9 in a row and all that, the games just become repetitive and boring. And I just thought if you could try and expand the league slightly, and my plan was always, although we've scrapped it now, was to try and do something with the B team players and that, or players you've got coming back for injury, where you could stick them. If we were in League 2 in Scotland, then we've got most of our young boys in there, but if a couple of players come back for injury, they can go in there and play a game or 2 before they come back to full fitness and get back in the first team.
Well, that's what makes me laugh. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was just going to say that's what happened with that lower league when Rangers B was in it. Celtic B were in it. They guaranteed that they would take 500 tickets for every away game. Both clubs guaranteed to take tickets for the away game, right? You couldn't. I mean, some clubs somewhere are shooting themselves in the foot because I mean, if you looked at Gretna's game, right? I mean, if Gretna played Rangers, you're probably talking maybe 2,000-3,000 going to the game at Gretna, right? And then now Rangers have gone, they'd probably get 10. They're lucky if they get 10 people watching their game, Ox.
Aye, I know. I'll pass you. We're getting a great expert, Stevie.
You talking about the anvil?
It's common sense, Ox. It's just absolutely common sense. They allowed the 2 clubs to get in the B League, and the 2 clubs guaranteed that they would take tickets for every away game. Then the clubs had a vote to vote them out, and you think, what are you doing? Then it's because Celtic and Rangers agreed that they couldn't take the promotion. They would put them in the League 2. They agreed that they wouldn't take the promotion, that they would always stay in the lower league. And they wouldn't play the playoff against the Highland League champions. I mean, I can't fathom at the Ox that 2 teams, whether you like the other one or not, but 2 of them agreed that they wouldn't take the promotion. The second team would go automatically to play the Highland League champions, and the winner play the playoff against a team that finishes bottom.
Just eating itself from the inside out. There's no common sense at all, is there? And it's a win-win for the wee clubs, and yet they're no wanting it, and you're wondering why no, you know. But, can I just say, is it Tommy?
Tommy, aye.
Tommy, are you living down there and way, aye?
No,
I live in Bognor, mate. Bognor Regis, mate.
All right. I know, because me and Southside were down there. We were hospitality one time down there, Southside, weren't we?
I remember the videos.
Listen, I've still got all the photos when the guys came to Bognor. It was great. It was a great weekend with Stan Gordon and all that. It was just brilliant. I've got all the photos. I know Stan. I've done the game for him at Blackpool.
Aye.
And I did the game for him at Fleetwood.
Aye, well, you tell Big Stan that he always be a pinstripe suit and 20 bangers, okay? Tell him Big Stevie for the drums looking for him, okay? A good friend of mine, mate. Big Stan.
My brother used to sign the drum.
Aye.
Used to get in the Goodyear.
Or the Goodyear Social Club, aye.
Aye. Jamie McMillan, his name was. Passed away a couple of years ago.
I know Jamie well, aye.
A wee boy called. He's got his son called Jamie as well.
Right.
They go in the Rangers. They go in the Rangers bus to Drumchapel.
St Andrews, yes. That's right.
Mm.
Yep, I know who you're
Well,
talking about. It's a small world, eh?
Well, he passed away a couple of years ago. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, I know Jamie passed away, aye.
That was my age, September 2017.
Shame. Good blue nose, by the way. Went to see the Rangers a lot, so he did.
It was him who took me to my first ever game in 1968. on the Queen. That's what that just makes me laugh, Ox. I think it could redevelop the format. Yeah, and you're right, but you're saying Ox about with Sky. Sky will pick their games, and it's like I think Southside said there was a meaningless game the other night, Dundee. I mean, who watched it? Who actually watched it? Who would watch the game apart from a Dundee United or a Kamala fan that can't get to the game? They're the only people who would watch that game. The Chelsea West Ham game was on the telly.
Aye, you're right.
I mean, unless you're a complete loony, the only people who are going to watch that are Kamala or Dundee United fans that can't go.
Did you say if you watched it, you were a complete loony? Southside?
Never said I wasn't a loony, did I? But aye, it was just put the ball into the clouds all game, you know, long throw-ins, kicking the ball long. The surface doesn't help with the plastic pitch, but you never see a player that will ever make a slide tackle, you know, because they're scared you know.
There you were saying about the Hearts game there Saturday. How many empty seats is there at Tynecastle? I mean, that tarpaulin, there must be got to be about 5, 6, maybe 1,000 seats empty. The tarpaulin that separates the Rangers fans from the Hearts fans, and they even don't fill that section.
That's correct.
It's crazy, Tom. Common sense. You've used a word there, common sense, mate, that I think Stevie's been banging on it. There's a lack of, the whole product. You know, they get so much wrong, but as long as you've got a cartel who just look after themselves, maybe highly paid for failure.
I've no doubt that most of these went to Parkhead, right, Ox, and I understand Rangers' complaint, and I really got their complaint. As my mate says, he's a Thistle fan, right, and he thinks that's the worst football ground in the world for the away supporter, because they stick you in a corner and you can't see. You cannot see the entire pitch. Parkhead. Don't care how clever you are, you can't see. You can't see the corner flag at the far end. You cannot see the penalty box at the far end. The whole of it. If you're in the corner there at Parkhead, you cannot see it down into the corner. How and yet you're charging the away fans only 25, 30 quid for a restricted few seat.
It's restricted.
I think you'll find it'll be a lot more with the Rangers fans. I think it'll be near 60 bangers.
52. It was 52 and 54, I think it went up to when it's outside. And it's a restricted view. Do you know they've got seats? They've got the backs of seats for the numbers. And the numbers are all at 1, 4, 9, 8. And some of them haven't even got seats. Some of them haven't even got seats you can sit on. It's just got a back. It's an absolute pigsty. It's a dump. But there's just no common sense. See in the game, I mean, they're Tommy, at the start of the season, right? 620 tickets for Tynecastle. So you've got 200 young boys outside the ground that haven't got tickets, right? So they walk away for that stadium. It probably costs more in policing to watch where they boys are walking, guiding them all back to train stations and buses and making sure they're not going into pubs and all the rest of it. It's more an operation doing that than just saying, no, what? Get the 200 of them into a section in that ground and just keep Polisaur on them. And that's
my mate's a Tottenham fan, right? And they played with Hoffenheim the other night. Hoffenheim sold out their allocation of tickets, right? They sold them out, right? There was 350 Hoffenheim fans outside the ground, right? And Tottenham knew these fans would cause trouble outside the ground if they never get in. And do you know what the Polish done? Moved people along in the seats and got them in, and they surrounded them.
So you did?
You got them in the ground. And you got them in the ground so they're not wandering the streets.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. The 200 of the UB boys that never get in, It's going to take some amount of policing to try and get them away from the stadium. Make sure they're not getting into the city centre. Make sure they're not getting into that pub or this pub and causing bother.
Exactly.
I know just fill up them out with some seats.
Exactly. I just,
Common
as I
sense.
say, you watch the game there on Saturday, right? And you can guarantee that end, where the Rangers fans are, it won't be full. Hearts end at the other end, it won't be full.
No.
Their main stand might be full, but their other stand, they probably will, because that's full of the loonies. And you think, well, you're telling me you couldn't give Rangers? Do you not think sometimes the walks are the name most enemy? Because we only give Hearts 100 tickets for Ibrox.
Yeah, I get it, mate. I mean, obviously, if Hearts, I think that corner knew that they're getting the away fans. I think that's more than 800 now. It's outside, isn't it? By the V, I think it's more than that. I might be wrong. I think it is.
What's that for?
The V.
And
The allocation that we're getting.
No, they're
Yeah, but they get.
They get well. They used to get 800,
right,
and that, but we can extend it a bit more, like we've seen, if they can fill it.
You don't think it's sometimes? I know it sounds awful, but you don't think sometimes it's tit for tat? That's what they're doing.
Aye, to a point, but we're probably, because we've increased the season ticket holders at Ibrox for them. I mean, Aberdeen, if you look at Aberdeen, they moved most of their kid on ultras that used to be in the side park where we used to go up there. I think they've took another 850 tickets off as we used to
get. If it keeps going, they might give you 15,000 tickets for Aberdeen the way they're for us.
Aye, but like I say, we go up there. We're going up there again, and I think it's the last game before the split. I think it is. It's round about then. And they've already cut our allocation. They used to give us 4,000, and now they've cut us back.
They used to give the beach end. They used to give the beach end. Do you remember, South? They used to give the beach end.
Used to give the other end off. You remember before the beach end, we used to get the other end.
Ox says there that Livingston Day. To me, them and St Johnstone. I'm not a big St Johnstone fan, but them and St Johnstone have got the right idea. And I know the St Johnstone fans were up in arms at the chairman saying, "Oh, you can't do this and you can't." And the St Johnstone chairman just said, "Well, if you guarantee that you'll fill the seats," he says, "I'll cut the allocation. I'll cut the allocation if you guarantee you'll take all them seats that them Rangers fans are going to take and fill that stand. I will cut the allocation." What happens? Couldn't even friggin' fill that stand they were all sitting in.
Couldn't they fill the good beer?
You just, I mean, if you remember Auckland Rangers would get papped out the league, and the guy Gilmore for St Mirren, he said to the St Mirren fans, "You either vote them down or you keep them up." See, because our first game of the season is Rangers. If we vote them out of the league, we're going to be playing Dundee. You want me to vote Rangers out of the league, so we play Dundee, and we'll only get a crowd of about 3 instead of a crowd of nearly 15,000, 16,000. And the St Mirren fans are going, "Oh, well, it's all right, you've got to vote them out, you've got to vote them out." And he went, "Right, okay, we'll vote them out." Right, and when they played Dundee, the crowd wasn't even 4,000.
Of course they were voting us out. You know why, don't you?
Of course we know why, but...
Aye. Make common sense, taking ourselves to death, exactly.
You're right, Stevie. You mentioned common sense, Tommy, and there's a lack of it. And one of the things that frustrates me is that people running it again are highly, highly paid, mate. You know, and
supposed to be intelligent.
They're no earning their money because they're no marketing it and they're not getting it right. They talk about this. On you go, mate.
I was just going to say, there's Arthur come back to Falkirk, because he knows the chances are that Falkirk could come up this year at Ox. This is what I'm saying. If you're telling me that you can't pick 4 teams to Falkirk, Greenock Morton, Partick Thistle, Ayr United, and Dunfermline, or maybe Raith, to play in the Premier League, you're telling me that you can't pick 4 teams out of them 6 to play in the Premier League and only make it 2 games a season?
I would go for 8 teams, mate. I would try and get 8 teams.
Well, if we went even 8 Ox, you could probably even look at Airdrie. I mean, I know they're struggling at the minute, but they used to get big. You remember you used to go to Broomfield Ox? They always got big crowds there when they played Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah.
Aye. I think that when you see Ross County twice a season, you've seen St Johnstone, you played them in the Cup. At Southside, you used the word boring. I get it.
He was only kidding on and said boring ox because he hangs about with me. There's never a dull moment. He knows that.
Oh, but you know the football and that, it just gets repetitive, you know, and like you say, you get them in the
cup. The
World Cup
time.
Aye, you get to meet Ox gets to meet his hero, Tommy.
And I'll tell you the classic. Ox with my mate. As I say, my mate's a Thistle fan. 2006, they played Peterhead 7 times. 7 times they played Peterhead. They played them in the League 4, played them in the Challenge Cup. They played them in the League Cup. Then they played them in the playoff final, which was 2 games. It was nearly 7 to 8 games that Thistle played against Peterhead. If you probably thought, my mate said, for the league game, I think they didn't even take 2 buses up to Peterhead Ox. But when they played in the final, it just makes you laugh.
So we're talking about it. We're saying about it Southside. And if you talk about other fans, they're saying the same thing. So the people that know listen, as the supporters. And by the way, surely the TV audiences must be affected by that as well.
Aye, probably would. It's just the games will not be appealing to Sky because they want the 6 games if possible to show. That's their premier games. They can talk up Dundee derbies and Edinburgh derbies, but the games they want is us and them. And they want it as many times as they can get it. But I think some of them maybe clubs, like you've said, Partick Thistles, Mortons, Dunfermlines and that, and down in that division, I think they're getting healthy crowds at their games. So I think they'd probably be travelling in quite decent numbers, probably more than what you get St Johnstone come to Ibrox, Ross County come to Ibrox. They two come spring to mind straight away. They'll bring Thistle, Dunfermline, Raith Rovers, Airdrie and that. They'd probably fill that 800 if that's what we gave them. They'd probably fill it at Ibrox. But I just think you just need a change, something different, and maybe some of the teams could play some of the young boys. We could maybe play some of your young boys in games against them at Ibrox, and it helps progress your club and get them first team experience. But I just don't see it ever happening in the near future. I just think it's the status quo, and that's what they'll stick with. Brecon didn't want to allow Kelty Hearts to come up because they didn't want relegated, and they proposed when it went to votes, and that happened. And then I think Cove eventually, we've seen what they've done since they've come into the league, and they're trying to progress. But Brecon were voting against Everton when they didn't want a lowland league team to come in, and they had to get in. So they protested against it, you know. So
that's what happens, isn't it? I mean, sometimes, it's like you're saying there, but I mean, there was a couple of weeks ago on the BBC. It was we were on holiday when the Raith and Dunfermline played. There was loads of people in the bars watching the game. Raith and Dunfermline in Tenerife. Well, I was mobbed. and to be fair at the current East End Park, the big stand behind the goal, the Raith Rovers fans, there was quite a lot of them, and there was quite a big crowd behind the Dunfermline. And you think, because that game was played on a Friday night. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. You just think...
Aye. Market it right, get the brand right, get the teams right, have taken away this 7 or 8 times a season potentially. I don't know. I just lack of common sense. Come back to your team, but Tommy, how do you see us going at the moment? Do you see any improvement? Are you frustrated?
I think I was the same as Southside. They were never going to get rid of the guy. I was listening to Southside. I do listen to the show sometimes. I listen to his comments, and they're good. They were never going to get rid of Clement because he was on a contract, and it would cost them more to get rid of him. And I thought, if you give a guy time, it'll come good. And when they played in the cup final, they were robbed. We all know they were robbed in the cup final. And the referee, myself, as you know, Ox, they were robbed. It's a penalty, right? But then you just got to move on. You've got to move on from that. And I mean, they played them in the league game. Some people say nothing at Celtic had nothing to play for because technically the league had already been won and Rangers had dropped silly points. Of course, and then they go and beat Celtic, and then they go and go to St Mirren and they get beat. And then they get beat, and then you think, sorry, sir. And then you think, they look, I mean, they were getting Celtic, they were absolutely brilliant. It's like Chris Boyd says, you've got the Rangers European team, you've got the Rangers team that play at Ibrox, Then you've got this team that play away from home. And they're not the same team. They're not the same team. You think, how are you not the same team? you just can't fathom it, Ox. I mean, it must be worse for the guys that go and watch some of the games. When they played at Dundee, they were just shocking. When they played against Motherwell, they were shocking. But they got it back to 2 weeks. They were shocking, Ox. First half, they were awful.
Aye.
Couldn't defend a cold.
Do you see any cause for optimism, or you want a dramatic change? How do you see it, Tommy?
I'd like to see. I still think we need an out-and-out centre forward. I like the guy. I give him a 9. I like him. I think he's a good player, Ox. And Desser's goal at Old Trafford was just one of class. And then his goal the other day when he took it down in the volley. That's what Dessers can do, innit? That's what he can do. And then he goes and misses, kicks the ball or something, and he misses sitters. No, the European games were great. Ox, it was great that they finished in the 8th position, and it didn't look lightly, and they qualified. But, I'd give the guy time. I think you've got to give him. I still think you've got to give him maybe another 2 transfer windows, Ox, and the board get behind him and give him the money.
I think the trouble is, mate, with this a PPF or whatever it is at the moment, mate. The rules have changed, mate, and the game's changing. There's no lot of transfers. And they might have to get rid of some of our high earners to bring in bodies, We're getting closer to sorting all out, but we've still got that to be completely done away with, because we've gave a lot of players contracts that are far too high for the Scottish League, Stevie.
That's 100%. And the length of contracts as well, Ox, 4 year and 5 year and all that. When guys should be getting 2 year, then we'll have a look at you and see how you've done. I mean, some of the mismanagement, that's mismanagement by Upster and the management team for previous managers and boards, if you want to put it that way. And we're paying through the nose now. But look, I mean, where we are now, I was at one point, I was nearly saying, look, let's get rid of Clement. But I managed to hold back and say, look, we've got to, sacking managers, we've got to stop it somewhere. I mean, you pay Clement 4 wages, pay him off, bring another manager in, possibly pay a team some sort of fee for that manager, and then pay that manager wages, then give him a war chest to go out and buy whoever he needs. We just couldn't do that. It's total. And Southside's always said that all the way through. It's not going to happen. We're not going to get rid of him. And it's true, we're not going to get rid of him. But what we're starting to see now is it's a results-driven game. We've got the away things sorted with Dundee United. We've been good in Europe. Our away form's just been absolute poor. We just need a consistent. Consistency is a word in our team this season. We've not been consistent. Our away form's a disgrace. And you can start to see, I mean, people talk about we're that far behind Celtic. It's no Celtic, it's a problem. It's all these other getting away on a Thursday night. We've showed in the cup final, and we showed the last game when we absolutely trounced them, that there's no a gap. There's not that much of a gap. But it's a consistency against the minnows, no? Get up with the wrong attitude, they're coming out and beating you, in St Johnstone and places like that, and wherever it is. We just need to get our consistency right. Clement's here to stay to the end of the season. Let's see how well the team got on. And you're probably right. He probably needs at least one more window. The board's got to give him the same kind of money they give Beale if they can possibly get rid of some more people out the door. I mean, I think you were right, Ox, when you said we never really signed anybody. That's because we're probably wanting to sign the boy Tierney, which they're looking for a fee of £6 million. In the summer, we're wanting to probably sign that boy. So that's how we'll probably not brought a lot of people in this one day. But it is what it is. No doubt, no matter what happens, the fans will always be there to back them anyway. And we just need We just need to ride this out and see where it goes. We've got Europe to look forward to, the Scottish Cup, and we've got them another couple of times to play. And who knows? Just who knows? You know, when people say the league's done, I'm not saying it's done until it is done.
Well, it's mathematically done.
The squad's starting to be more equipped now than it was at the start. And as Tommy, it's the away games we were at Fir Park and we're at Easter Road and that, and you're dropping points in Motherwell, St Mirren. They're the ones that it's down to the players. They're never turned up in certain halves and then they're trying to battle back to get a win and we're dropping points. And that's just the reality, but managers judged by it. But listen, we've got a good home record. Granted, some of the performances haven't been great, right, in the games, but we're trying to mould players together. And with Conor Barron in the midfield at the start, and with Diamandi at times not playing great in some of the games, but all right in Europe, but some of the league games weren't great. And then we've got Raskin back now, who has been playing out his skin. Hadji gets sorted, so the midfield sort of standard goes up. And when you get a chance, then you could bring in Danilo back for injury. He's got a chance to play Ignaman. Czerny started to hit a bit more for him since he come back because he was back for playing away. And he was in and out in international duty and away and back. Now he's come back. He's had a good run of games and he's had a good vein of form. So it's all started to gel. But now and again, we know certain times the team has to be at its strongest. If it's not its strongest, then we're liable that we can concede goals or we might not win a game. And sometimes then we've hit the injuries and we've not had the right amount of people. If Sterling had been fit all the time, Casemiro hadn't took an injury, they two players might have helped compensate for Suter taking an injury or Balogun getting injured, and maybe Nsiala wouldn't have had his chance. But with they two, what happened to the ball with Sterling no fit since Hibs, and obviously the injury to Casemiro didn't help us because that would have been two big players for us. But I think the team's starting to play good bits of football, Tommy. I think there's good styles there. Combination plays pretty good. We need to sort the away for him. We need to sort the away for him. Aye. But
definitely.
Seen him a lot of times in the B team and he was really raw and he would make the odd mistake. His passing wasn't good. And then there was other times you'd see him. But he wasn't getting tested. He's certainly getting tested now he's in. So, but he's taking his chance.
Do you think Southside, though, that the Rangers B team playing because I know the Rangers B team play a lot of English teams, don't they, at the academy, and they come to England because they were down here no long ago. And I think it's better for them playing against, I know it might sound awful, but it's better for them playing against English-based boys because they'll get a game, they'll get a proper game. I mean, they played Brentford no long ago, and apparently the guy for the Brentford manager, he was there watching it, and he was quite impressed with some of the Rangers boys. He said, why are these boys not playing in the league? Why are they not playing in the league, he said.
It's just the structure up here, Tommy. They went for best. The whole league got his Alex Lowry, got his Ross McCausland grew in the two leagues, and got out it, and they looked like they were better for it. But then you've got to play for something. You've got to play in a league. You've got to play for something. You can't. This friendly games. Brentford under 23s. They used to play. I think I played them 2 or 3 times. And we're doing that, but the boys aren't playing for anything. And if you can't get games organised, they're not getting any games. Sometimes Bailey Rice and all that, and wouldn't get a game for 4 weeks because they had no fixtures.
You know, done well in that Challenge Cup, didn't they?
Aye, they done well. Aye, but probably maybe a beat Queen's Park that night if Nsiala hadn't had a mad moment and just took a player out off the ball and get sent off. But no, listen, it's good that Finlay Curtis. You've got Bailey Rice and you've got Nsiala now, and hopefully they three will thrive and get better, and we'll see them more often this season going forward, and hopefully they'll have a big future at Rangers. Yeah, that's what I hope. They've got a chance.
Thanks for having me on your show again, Ox. I'll let somebody else get on. It's been great to talk to you all again. And hopefully, I can't see it, hopefully, the Scottish Football League will see a bit of sense and use a bit of common sense. Get that league restructured, Ox.
Aye, we're here if they want us to sort it out. We'll sort it out for them, no bother. I'll do listen to the show, Ox. So, you know, I am always listening. I might not always phone, but I always listen. Cheers, Tommy. All the best, boys.
Thanks, Tommy, boy.
All the best.
Thanks, Tommy.
We're not alone then, Steve here. We're not alone.
No, and that was interesting there. I know Jamie, his brother, up here in drum chat, a lot of good blue noses. So that was a good call there for Tommy. Just shows you we're not alone.
No, and also the people thinking similar thoughts, He mentioned these so many people he knows. But getting back to your squad, obviously the boy Lyle Cameron's come in. Never played in Dundee's next game. I'm not surprised at that. However, we brought in somebody with potential again. Our squad, we wanted legs in it. We've definitely put some of that in it. There's more pace at the back. There's more pace in different positions. When you watch Raskin getting about the pitch, and I'm not having a go at John Lundstrom, he gave us one of our biggest moments ever. However, if you look at Raskin, the way he covers it compared to how John covers it, it's night and day, Southside, and fair play. I think Raskin the last couple of months has been absolutely outstanding. In fact, it might be about 3 months, 4 months now. Stevie, down Southside.
Aye, you're talking about Raskin compared to Lundstrom. And it's as if he's in a fridge, big John Lundstrom compared to that. I've got to say, Raskin's looking like the player we first thought we were going to get. The wee man has been absolutely brilliant in the middle of that part. He's been absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't help but laugh at one of his interviews when he swore on it. It was quite funny when he was talking about Tav being a leader in the dressing room and on the park, and what he brings. Listen, wee Raskin has been absolute fantastic. Now, touch wood, that he stays injury-free. We need him injury-free because that man's class. Our midfield, Diamondi's starting to come onto a game and on. The midfield's starting to look a bit better. Diamondi against Dundee United, I've got to say, was, by the way, that they were getting in with the boot on him and harassed him and everything, and he was just shrugging it off and getting on with it. So he's adapting to the Scottish game better, and I think next season you're going to see a better Diamondi, 100%. And Raskin's just outstanding. But compared to what we were watching with Big Lundstrom, look, the big man done his umpteen turns, didn't he? And sometimes we were pulling the hair out. I mean, you get the blast about 3 or 4 games where he was brilliant, and you were going, wow, what a player a big one is. And then you're going, man, what's happened to him? 3 at the next 6 games, he was ranked rotten. But look, nowhere near what we're asking does. He covers every blade of grass, Raskin, and at turning that ball and getting moving, he's absolutely fantastic, turning the ball and getting the ball moving forward. Big Lundstrom done as a turn, didn't he? I'm not going to badmouth for big man either. Done as a turn. He does one of the best nights I've ever had in my life, and that ball went in the pokey. And wow, man, when you look back, I hope all that team does well, They took us a full run there and gave us some memorable nights and some cracking memories with my family and my boy. Got to the final and stuff. I hope all that team. I heard Borner's getting let go, and he's getting let go with, is it Travanspor or something? They're all.
Well, don't get me started. That I'm a great believer, Stevie, in sport. If you take the foot off the gas, you don't get it back on again. They're starting to play. That's the trouble. Took their foot off their gas. And many of them have really kicked on. Anyway, Steve, Southside, Raskin, his mobility, the way he's playing. I didn't know if he would reach that level of consistency. He's surprised me, but you've got to doff your hat to the boy.
Aye, because for the Belgian national team, when he was playing under 21s, he was playing further forward. And he's adapted into sitting as a central midfielder, sitting in there and making sure he breaks up play and he can try and go on the ball and get the play moving. And since he's come back injury-free for that bad tackle and a couple of niggles probably after that, around about October, I think he come back, didn't he? He's been really, really good, and he's helped the midfield, and Diamandi, between them, the two of them are starting to understand each other, and they're forming a partnership. And when he wasn't playing and we brought in Conor Barron, Conor will be a good player, but you could tell there were certain things that Raskin would do and could do that Conor couldn't do, in the game. When he was in that for that one game. So he is a different type of player. So no, Raskin's been outstanding, and hopefully he doesn't pick up any injuries or another suspension come along, because he's an integral part of the midfield at the moment, and there's nobody really at the club at the moment as good as him and what he does.
Yeah. He surprised me. I take your point, Stevie, about Diamandi. I think he's improving. I think he's still got a bit to go to get to Raskin's consistency. I like the boy Jeffrey. Yeah, there's a mistake in him. He can frustrate you at times, but he's got assets. You know, and you look at the age of A3, you've then got in Salad, as we've mentioned already tonight, Conor Barron, who could be, as it's looking, maybe a useful squad filler as a younger man. Lyle Cameron coming in. We don't know how he'll take to wearing the jersey, so we wish him all the best. Up front, we've got the boy that I think the young team are rotating to, Igamani. Again, another asset. It has changed rapidly. And yeah, we've had bumps in the road, but it's slowly value and legs into the squad. How good all these players are going to go, as I said earlier, Stevie, I don't know. But Igamani, who's not played well the last couple of games, has certainly got something about them that a lot of the times gets you at your seat, Stevie.
100%, mate. That boy's talented. Absolutely talented. See the way he pulls the ball out there, lifeless. Just as if the ball's, he's not even looking. He just knows what it is and he knocks it on. And rightfully, you said, you mentioned Devaney done it out at the dugout at Dundee United. It's just, he's a joy to watch, the boys, and he tries things that nobody else would try, and I like that in the boy and all. It just shows you the confidence he's got. When he all right, people might say, what's he trying an overhead kick for me at that distance? But see, just the very thought that he's trying that just shows you how confident he is. And by the way, he's going to be another big player for us next season. That's if we're still going. I think he'll be a big, massive player for us next season. He's just finding his feet too, and I think everything is looking good. Everything is like that. Listen, Igman's brilliant. Many goals has he got, Ox, this season?
13 or something like that. 13, something like that. I'll check that out, Stevie, exactly for you, but I think it's something like that.
Scored a couple against Nice. He's done all right. He scored about 3 or 4 in Europe, which is your high levels, isn't it? So for a young boy just coming into the team and doing what he's doing, he's doing all right. And as you rightly pointed out, there's going to be games where he's not playing well. You expect that, but look, 21 years of age, if he's getting you 6 good games in one bad game, you don't mind that, But I'm expecting him, if he's playing at the weekend, to get a couple of goals under his belt, and that'll kickstart him again.
Aye.
But that's not bad.
No, but when I listen to you when you were naming all the players, and if you add in Fernandes, who we've just signed, with a loan with an option to buy at 22, I think he's 22. You look at the ages of Signaman, obviously being 22, but Yefty and Conor Barron and maybe Diamandi, I'm not sure, he might be 22 and I'm not sure. But they're all young. You fling in Oscar Cortez into that when he comes back fit, another young boy. And you've got, obviously, you've added Finlay Curtis and Bailey Rice, and also probably John Sterling being just a slightly older, about 24, 25, I think, or something. But it's good. It's a good addition to come in and compete and be part of the squad. So if you look at the ages across the board, which is Suter and Proper at the moment, with more experience, because Balogun will leave. So we've got them, and Casemiro is always a possibility in time should his recovery be all right, and then probably another loan deal to see how it goes. But he might be another one he's at the right age that could become part of the squad in time and all. We don't know. But you can find Cortez certainly into that and all, because I think when he comes back fit, he'll be a good player in time. Just really unfortunate the type of injuries he's picked up, but hopefully maybe them at the press conference will maybe ask him the question: where is John Sterling? Where is Cortez? How far away are they? So we maybe can find out what the manager's got to say regarding.
13 goals, 19 starts, 10 substitutes, Stevie.
Was that, Ox?
13 goals, 19 starts, 10 substitute appearances. No bad.
13 was in 19 starts. Brilliant. 10 substitute. That's no bad, is it? That's pretty good. But listen, it's not just he's got. I mean, there against Hibs, he got the perfect hat trick, right foot, left foot, header. He's just get touches, man. You're like, oh, wow. No, the way he pulls that ball down with his chest. See the way he brings the ball down with his chest, and it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Turns with it, and away he goes. And then there was the other one, he was doing keep it up, Heedies. I mean, the boy's he's a talented bunny, and I think once he really finds his feet and really becomes a regular and gets up to the pace, I'm telling you now, he's going to be, we're not going to have him long. No chance. There's already teams looking at me now.
Well, the goals in Europe that you mentioned, mate, that's where you grab the headlines, Southside, isn't it?
Aye, you'll certainly be noticed. And also, they're all putting themselves in the shop one day because we had a game against Manchester United and a game against Tottenham. So they're getting showcased. Same as Czerny's getting exposed to it because he's at Wolfsburg and out the picture, and suddenly now clubs have looked at him because he's been showcasing in Europe and live games, cup finals shown throughout the world. So, aye, that's the sort of platform that puts them on, whether they're established players or whether they're young players. But, see, to be perfectly honest, we know they're going. We know that we expect them to grow. This is a learning experience this season of playing and try to compete and get to know the team and grow it. So the last thing we want to do come the summer is get rid of Ignaman or get rid of a Jeff Day or a Raskin, things like that. We want to keep that squad together and add to it and have a right good go for the start of the season. We need at least another 5-6 signings in the door that are actually going to come in and want to actually be near enough starting. Maybe a one project player come in, but we don't need any more. We need to get a bit of experience in there, players at the right age to add the quality of the squad, make it better, and so we can have a right good go. And then probably at the end of that season, I think the fact that if we make sure that we win the league and we get silverware, and they do well in another European campaign, there'll be certainly clubs will want to come in and get them, and hopefully we'll be able to they'll go for better money than what people think clubs will come in and offer us now.
This is the seesaw you're in, mate. If somebody comes in, you're sitting, he's our player, and we're at the bottom of the seesaw, and somebody comes in with, everybody's got a price, mate, and that's the problem. And it's not just us; it's every team, everywhere in the world at different levels, mate. Everybody's got a price, and if that buyer goes right, doesn't matter who you are, you're off.
I get it. I know, and I know the model's got to work, but listen, we want to win a league title, and aye, okay.
Of course we do. Of course we do, aye.
And you could shout and go, well, 10 million and that boy, Ignaman, in time and Yefty, they'd go for a lot more than 10 or 15 million pound that somebody might try and tempt us with. That the transfer that they leave Rangers for and go to that new club, I'll guarantee you the next transfer they go will be a lot more money than what we sold them for. So if we can keep a hold of them, and there might be one or two other players that people might come in for that we might want to try and get rid of, we might get a bid in for. But I think we want to try and keep the structure and the nucleus of the squad. If you really want to go and try and be successful, we want to try and keep this squad together. They're doing it this season and they need to kick on for the start of next season. And we need to add more players to the squad. But I get it, if there's an outrageous bid comes in, then I guarantee and then you go and look and try and get better or get the same type of level of player. But I want as many of this squad to stay, so Clement gets a chance if he's the manager with new players coming into it to have a right good go and make sure we know for the off what's the target, the league.
When TalkSport come in for you and they offered me and Stevie small kebabs, if they would be the large, you'd have went.
Don't know, I might have got homesick.
You'd have went. Large kebabs, he'd have been gone, wouldn't he, Stevie?
Large shish kebabs. You might be flying as a shish kebab. I'll go for that.
You'd have been the quickest, honestly, you'd have been the quickest transfer in history, the quickest Bosman ever. If we were getting cheese kebabs for you, by the way, you're out the door, man. You're gone.
It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be. The problem is, just quickly before we go, mate, as fans, it's never the players you want to go that is all the interest, Stevie, is it?
Oh, no. Oh, look, you might keep your best players, don't you? That goes without saying, sorry, that goes without saying, but look, money talks. Somebody's going to come in and offer you a barrel load of money for somebody you've picked up for $1.5 million, you know, you're going to take it all day long. But I just think we give our players away too cheaply. We should be trying to hold out for more and more. I mean, an average G.I. Joe player during the Premiership and who must be 15-20 million quid, just an average player. Everybody you hear, he's went for West Ham, for Tottenham or whatever, you know, you hear 25 million quid, and you're like, who is he? No. So when we get somebody special like Eggman or Gefty or whoever it may be, we should be trying to hold out. I know we're always saying, oh, £20 million stuff for a honour. Sometimes we should be looking at the 30s. The way the modern day game is. For a 22-year-old with the talent he's got, as you rightly said, the next time he gets sold, you're using sold for a lot more. Right, make sure you get that add-on fee, you know.
That's maybe the secret, mate. It's maybe sometimes not a bag of gold to snoo, it's getting the other things right in the transfer. I've got a feeling, and I'm sure we'll talk about it as maybe before we pass. I think we maybe got a lot right this time. Maybe the club have learned a lot of lessons from maybe new people driving behind the scenes might have got a lot right, but only time will tell. But last word for your good self, Big Stevie.
Well, once again, boys, I enjoyed that wee phone call for Tommy tonight. It was good to know some of his family, right good blue noses. Tommy spoke a lot of sense about Scottish football not having any common sense. Absolutely brilliant. Been on the south side and yourself. Enjoy the chit chat. Enjoy talking about the club we love. And it's all about opinions. This is one of the only free platforms left out there that don't want money off any bears in any capacity. And this is a place to do it, people. And thanks for having me, Ox. And let's see what the future brings for the Teddy Bears. But we'll be there, win, lose or draw, no matter what. Anyway.
Cheers, big man. Give us a slice of that cake you've got, or is it humble pie?
Costco cake. I was in the other day. Yes.
Yes, it was a big slice for me in Southside. Southside.
Aye, no, thoroughly enjoyed being on Wednesday with my big mucker as always, talking about the greatest team in the world, mate. It was good to hear Tommy come on tonight and get a wee chat with us. And everything's about Sunday now, isn't it? And talking about Rangers, it's all about Sunday. A game at 3:30, I think, at Ibrox. So looking forward to it when Sunday arrives. Probably be a strongish team and just get the job done, and then maybe make a few extra subs in the second half. But it's getting through at the next round of the cup, mate. So, aye, thanks for having us on. And as like I say, always good to be on with Big Stevie. So as always, mate, there's only one team and one crown.
Yeah. Thanks to Tommy for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Southside and Stevie for doing the show. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.